Hey, how's it going, everybody? So I'm coming to you guys from my mobile design lab like you guys have seen before. And today we're going to be talking about something that's sort of near and dear to me because I'm actually coming up on an anniversary. Now, this is an anniversary that you normally celebrate. This isn't a birthday or a spousal relationship anniversary. This is the anniversary of when I got this car. Now, I've had my Tesla Model Y for 4 years now. I got it in August, well, technically I got it right now. I'm a couple weeks shy of it, but pretty close. So I got this in 2020 and I've had it for 4 years now. And I'll say there's been so many things that I love about it. There's been a few things that I wish were a little bit different. And we're going to dive into that already, dive into all that today. Just in case you guys are on the fence about it, if you're not sure if it's going to be right for you or what you want to do with it. So sit back, relax. You guys are watching The Tall Tesla Guy. So it started in 2020. Now, this is the Tesla Model Y, and as you guys kind of know, Tesla came out with the Model Y in response to the alarming popularity of the Tesla Model 3. Now, the Tesla Model 3 came out in 2018, and it took them about 2 years to realize that this is going to be the most popular car that they've ever created. In fact, it's going to be the global EV seller, and as a car in general, it's going to outsell cars like the Toyota RAV4. Now, this Model Y was Tesla's this Model Y was Tesla's first foray into a SUV type of car. Now, of course, the Roadster being a two-seater was their initial, car. The Model X is also an SUV, came out in 16, but it was a high-end SUV, right? So that was an SUV as an SUV goes. This is a mid to small size SUV, but it's got 4 doors like the Model 3. It's got sort of a hatchback into the trunk and more space than a traditional SUV in my experience. But nonetheless, it was Tesla's kind of gamble that people would want to pay a little bit more than a Model 3 to have a little bit more space. And I'll tell you that right from the get-go, I am 6'5", as you guys know from previous videos if you guys have been following the channel. And I was looking for a vehicle that just gave me a little bit more space. Well, the Tesla Model Y did not disappoint. It became quickly the most comfortable vehicle I've ever driven in, the most comfortable vehicle I've ever ridden in. Yeah, drive or ride. And then as far as my passengers go, people can comfortably sit behind me, which is not something that I can say for other vehicles that I'm driving because I have the front seat back so far. You can sit behind me and you're comfortable. There's plenty of leg room because of the way that the car is designed. But comfort alone, and now comfort, of course, isn't everything with a car. You also want to enjoy the drive. You want to have the spirit of driving available to you while you are driving. You want to be able to get where you need to go. And as a traditional gas vehicle owner driver, my first concern was going to be range anxiety. I was worried about how far I can get with it. I'd never had an EV before, and I'll say other EVs on the market just do not have the range that Tesla has. Even if they have a similar type of, get up and go torque instantly available to you like you get with a Tesla, they just don't have the range. And one thing I realized from the get-go when I first got our Tesla Model Y is that it will take me anywhere I need to be. Now, the supercharger network alone, putting that aside, I charge at my house predominantly. I had previously in previous places that I lived, I had a 240 outlet that I ran to my garage. I plugged it in, which is similar to, say, a dryer outlet, and it would give me about 30 miles of recoup range per hour that I was plugged in. Now, if something happened and I did a long road trip driving down the coast or across the country or whatever it was, and I got home with 0 battery, I have about 330 miles of projected range. Now, that's what Tesla says I have. In reality, it's about 300, maybe 270. But say I have 330 miles of projected range. In about 10 hours, maybe 11, I can get that charge from 0, which in reality, you don't show up with 0, but I could get it from 0 all the way to full. Now, that's plugged in at my house. What I would typically do, drive it during the day, get home, plug it in, wake up in the morning, and it's fully charged. Now, this is something that I wasn't sure I was going to be able to adapt to, wasn't sure I was going to be able to get behind. In general, just worrying about the charge. And then, like I said, I quickly realized on road trips that you don't have to worry about it. Outside of charging at home, Tesla offers a supercharger network, which is more than available any place I've ever needed to be. There's always been a supercharger. And if I'm not sure about it, if I'm going to a new place, I can throw it in their navigation. It'll show me where to charge. In fact, it'll also show me what state of charge I'm going to arrive in or how much battery I'm going to have left when I get there. And this is just using their navigation that's already in the car and already available. Now, I'll say if you do not have a 240 outlet in your garage, if you don't have a garage, one cool thing about Teslas versus other vehicles that are EVs is that you can plug in a Tesla anywhere there is an outlet. Now, currently, in my current situation, I have a garage, but I don't have a 240 outlet. I don't have the ability to run one. So I plug in a standard wall outlet, United States. It's a 115, I think, and maybe it might even be a 120 because I'm in the garage. And it gives me anywhere from 3 to 4 miles of recouped range per hour that I'm plugged in. Now, honestly, if I showed up with zero, which we'll talk about in a second, but if I showed up with zero, it would take me quite a bit of time to charge it all the way up. So it does require me to plan a little bit better if I'm gonna be driving it down really low and charge, and I need to get out the next couple of days, I'll run over to a supercharger, charge up, I'll find a destination charger or a level 2 charger, and I'll charge on there, for example, just to get some more juice in there. But honestly, it's not something that really concerns me much. It doesn't cause too many problems, and I've never had an issue where I've had to take my gas vehicle because I didn't have enough charge to go wherever I was going. So that's never been a thing. And on top of that, I talk about showing up with zero. I can say it would be similar to a gas vehicle, you know, driving it all the way down to empty and then getting to where you're going or starting to think about going to a gas station. You just don't do that. Now, I don't, you know, the EV situation might have been new to me, but I'm not new to filling up a car and planning ahead and things like that. So I did that with my gas vehicle, just like I do with my EV, my Tesla, but it does change it around a little bit, but honestly, I can say it was never an issue. And teamed up with that, you have the enjoyment of driving, the comfort of the vehicle, the instant torque that just kind of gives it that zip and go. I love the technology of the car. People talk all the time about missing the heads-up display, missing a bifurcated dash, missing the instrument cluster right in front of your steering wheel. I've never missed it, not once. I tend to drive, you know, incorrectly or not, but I tend to drive with my hand on the top of the steering wheel, and it blocks it anyway. My line of sight does not see in between the steering wheel. Traditionally, even with the steering wheel kind of tilted and you know, telescoped in, I have a hard time seeing it, even in a regular gas vehicle. It's never something I look at. And honestly, my field of vision, even like this, just without moving my head side to side, encompasses this central entertainment screen, central infotainment screen, that not only shows you where you are, the map navigation, everything about the cars in front of you, all that kind of stuff, but also the speed that you are driving. It's in a big bold letter right next to where your eyes are, right next to where your hands are when you're driving. I can see it. It's never been an issue. I've never wanted or asked for a front heads-up display or a front instrument cluster. I know they make an aftermarket one for people that are having a hard time transitioning, but for me, I love the clean design. I love the empty space inside the car. I love that everything is on this screen that I need, and I can just get in the car and go. In fact, when I get in other EVs, and I have driven a couple other EVs, a few things that bother me that the Tesla has, I don't need a start button. I've got to, you know, scramble around to find a start button. I don't need a key fob. And then on top of that, it's not as intuitive. Tesla kind of sets it up in the beginning that you make some changes to the car, you know, where your seat is, your mirrors, things like that. And then after that, you never need to touch it. The only thing you do on the infotainment screen is put in where you're going if you're using the navigation. And then outside of that, you're just off to wherever you're going, basically, and kind of running with it. But either way, I can say after 4 years, I love the car still. I love everything about it. I've got 45,000 miles on it or so, something like that, 55,000, I guess, between the two. And it's something that I'm going to continue to purchase. Once I get done with this vehicle, I'll probably get a Model X for the size. But outside of that, I love the vehicle enough to buy it again, as I have, and buy it again next time. So either way, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, as always. But either, you know, thanks for jumping on the channel. Thanks for following the videos. Thanks for following this journey. As much fun as we've had so far. I really hope you guys are having a fantastic day, week, month so far, that you're able to enjoy the weather if you have it, that you're staying safe if you don't, and that either way, you're staying safe out there. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day.